Girl, here we go again with them Whacky Whitlows. Y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toss it out. Flip my weave and walk it out. Look how I just bossed it out. Now come on, baby, why you bugging? We can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no, I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We're here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 2, The Whacky Whitlows. Girl, look, you can't tell them nothing and ain't gonna try it. Let's get into it. The episode opens up with the doctor saying he don't believe that their marriage is what they portray it to be. None of us been believing that, Dr. Francis. None of us believed it. But they feel some type of way. Not Letitia, girl. I'm starting on her already. Tiffany was like, wait a minute, what you mean? Like, what you mean you acting like we acting or something? We not acting like, can you elaborate? And Dr. Francis said, like the game I gave y'all. Y'all playing the game within the game, girl. Y'all trying to make it seem like y'all not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, when I talked to you last night, I touched you because I made you cry. He was like, I touched on something that you normally don't touch on. He was like, so I don't understand why you not understanding what I'm saying. Lou feels some type of way. Big Lou said he don't appreciate somebody trying to diagnose him or do him dirty or analyze his marriage after not knowing him. Is it me or is it that Lou don't realize that's the same thing he did to Marcel? And the girls are gonna bring that up over there, doggone, in the near future. Basically, Letitia and them over there saying this: Big Lou can't take to no doggone criticism. And Kimmy was like, man, them dudes, Big Lou and Tiffany want to analyze everybody thing and be marriage counselors, but can't take no doggone criticism. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Marcel is downstairs cooking breakfast, and Big Lou come down and tell him last night, well, you know, it was a little rough, but it wasn't too rough. Now, there you go, Lou, not taking, not accepting that, you know, sometimes things can get rough. Lou has an issue with that. Lou don't like people to feel like he's in a vulnerable space. And that probably stems from his childhood trauma, and I believe it does. But he said he hoped Dr. Francis can see them for who they are and not who he think they were. We don't even know y'all. We all think the same thing. I'm confused. Not to mention that man is a professional. But Tiffany came down and said that she didn't know that coming to this thing would have been like a whole thing for Dr. Francis to just come at him, like to the left. No, he not coming at y'all. He just basically telling y'all the truth. Y'all don't want to hear it. But Letitia asked him how they thought it was going to go today. And Big Lou was like, you know, I don't know. But I know this thing. The fact that I know my marriage, he can't break that. Lou, first of all, y'all only been married for 60 days. And I know it's been a couple of years, but that ain't long enough to say you know your marriage. Y'all ain't on the same page. You're not. I'm sorry. But he said it's good that he knows his marriage because can't nobody break that. Boy, whatever. But Letitia, I said that. She said they don't want to listen to Dr. Francis. And Lou takes this time to apologize to Marceau and say, you know, it wasn't until last night when I was getting dogged out, I realized I was wrong for saying what I said about your marriage. And me and my wife wanted to formally apologize to you and your wife because we had no business judging your marriage. Well, I'll be damned if this ain't the doggone truth. Lou, why you had to go through a traumatic experience to realize you was dead wrong? I'm just asking. It just don't make no sense. But he said he understand now. Tisha says, look, marriage is hard. It is. Y'all, listen, see the people who talk the most about marriage ain't never been married. That shit is hard work from the rooter to the tutor. And like Tisha said, ain't no marriage perfect. We all figuring it out in our own way. Stop trying to analyze my marriage when yours ain't all of that. She ain't lying. I'm going to stop her when she start lying. Marcel said he accept the apology, but he just accept change behavior more than anything. That's what apologizing is, not the words. But Marcel asked how they felt about Dr. Francis and saying that their marriage was fake. Because Marcel said, when I told y'all marriage was fake, y'all ain't want to listen. But a professional just told you your marriage was fake. How you feel about that, Big Lou? Child, Big Lou said, man, I don't know what he talking about. Like, that ain't true. He just trying to analyze us after knowing us for 6 seconds. Didn't you do that to Marcel? I ain't gonna lie. You did. we noticed that everybody got on the shirts that Dr. Francis gave them to wear except Big Lou and Tiffany. What does that tell me from nonverbal cues and nonverbal communication? They already in their feelings about Dr. Francis digging in their ass last night, so they ain't want to put on the shirts. That's their way of showing resistance. Y'all childish. Put the damn shirt on and go out there to the fire. Ain't nobody got time for this. Anyway, Kimmy and them come downstairs, and Kimmy starts talking to them because they all sitting at the table right here. And Kimmy was like, she find it funny that they can't take advice yet they want to give it to everybody. I don't find it funny. I feel like that's what they do. But she says, yeah, it's really messed up. And she said, I don't really appreciate the fact that we all wearing the shirts and they not because they childish. That's why. Maurice even jumped in. No, I'm sorry. Lou says he ain't like the fact that Dr. Francis was judging him, and Kimmy said, but you did it to Marceau. Even Maurice had to jump in and was just like, bro, when you came into this group, you really was on some judgmental type of stuff. Dr. Francis literally did to you what you did to Marceau and them. Like, it is what it is. But, you know, Big Lou, he don't see that. Marceau jumps in and says, you know, when we be talking to you and you be like, I hear you, it be coming off hella dismissive. And Lou was like, no, that means I'm actively listening. And like Marceau said, no, brother, you know what toning is. If you say, I hear you, that means you're not really listening. But if you say, I hear you, I'm active, you know what I mean? It's just the way you say things. And they catching on to that, but you trying to act like it ain't what it is. And even Kimmy and Maurice jumped in and was like, bro, it's true. Like, everybody at this table is saying the same thing. Like, you act like you don't be wanting to hear nothing from nobody, but you want to tell everybody everything. It's just not making sense, Fat. Big Lou don't really understand that. Because Big Lou's one of them people who don't understand if you get it. Kimmy even said, listen, it ain't that you have to care about how we think about you. However, if you do care about the way we think about you, the fact that y'all just be so dismissive when other people trying to tell y'all something, yet y'all get called to the red carpet and run out crying, it looks pretty bad, Fat. Stand in your stuff. Just accept that, hey, I ain't perfect. You know, I'm not perfect. It is what it is. He not gonna ever do that, Kimmy, because he don't want people to feel like he in a compromising situation. You know, they got people like that. They got people like that who are so much control freaks. I'm sorry, they never want to be put in a situation where they feel like they're not in control or they're looked at in a bad light. That's what Big Lou give me. But anyway, they says that he don't value what Dr. Francis says as a professional. And Big Lou said, look, I got more wisdom than book smarts. No, you don't, No, you don't, Lou. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's what you think, but you don't. But Kimmy was like, look, this is a licensed professional, bro. And you sitting up here discrediting this man like he don't know what he talking about. Not to mention, he been married 40 years. That man know more about what he talking about when it comes to marriage than you will ever. Lou, you ain't that smart, bro. I'm just saying. But like Kimmy said, if you want us to feel like you give a F, you got to have your energy to match that. Moving on, Mel and Mama Hope meet for breakfast. Mel and Mama Hope meet up for breakfast. And Mama Hope pull up and say, you know, hey, how you doing? Mel say, hey. You know, Mel get in her confessional and say, you know, me and Mama Hope ain't spoken over a year. After she said what she said on that doggone TV show, you know, last season, I had to cut her off for my own well-being, as you should. But ultimately, Mel knows that she got kids. And, you know, that's their grandma, and they got to be on a good page. So she sits down with Mama Hope and was like, you know, girl, we ain't spoke, you know, since last year. And Mama Hope said, yeah, because that text message you sent was very disrespectful. Now, they put the text message up there, and the text message just basically said, it was Mel holding Mama Hope accountable, saying that you uphold your son, you a liar, you're dirty for talking to me crazy like that, or talking about me crazy on TV. Mama Hope is one of them black women who are raising the bitch niggas we got in 2022. You got to know that. Mama Holt is one of them women. Her son could be a dirty dog, lazy bum, but ain't a bitch, a nigga, or a nigga bitch, or a bitch ass nigga gonna say nothing about him. And she gonna hold that nigga up in the light like Mufasa held up doggone Simba, bitch. Yeah, she one of them mamas. Say what I say, but see the problem with them mamas is y'all creating the bitch ass niggas that's running around in the world saying all the heinous and horrible things about black women. You get it? Mel, why is you wasting your time trying to explain to Mama Hope that she ain't worth a dime for raising the son the way she raised him and talking to him and dealing with him the way she deal with him and talk to him? It don't make no sense. Mama Ho even goes on, no, Mel goes on to confront Mama Ho and was like, yeah, because you know what you said on TV, that's what warranted the text. And girl, they played the flashback, and this is what I will give Mama Ho. She stood on it. She stood on it. Like Mel said, you running around acting like I ain't did nothing and I was just lazy and blah, 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 blah. And I just laid on my butt. She started mocking, you know, the whole thing. And Mama Ho said, you ain't got to do all that fat. I said what I said. I stand on it. Let's move on. Mel, you got more patience than me because you was willing to move on for them churn. But I'd have cussed Mama Ho out. Oh, I would have cussed her out. See, you the reason why he the bitch ass nigga he is. That's what I would have said, but everybody, I ain't that mature yet. Mama Ho said she said what she said. Let's move on. Oh, no, Mel wants to unblock Mama Ho, and Mama Ho said, don't unblock me, girl, just pull up to the crib. Oh, Mama Ho, is this really a reconciliation? What is you trying to say? But Mel said, no, I'm going to unblock you, fat, because I don't pull up to nobody's house unannounced. Don't. Anyway, they want to get back to where they used to be, and I think that's the best for the children. Moving on, it's Heart to Heart by the Fire. Girl, we back at the couples retreat. All the people come out with their shirts except the Whitlows. But it's Heart to Heart by the Fire. And Dr. Francis said, we're going to sit up here by this fire and have a heart to heart. And if you ain't going to be honest, don't bring your ass up here. Now, who do you think the lucky couple would be to come up there? The Whitlows. Girl, he get the Whitlows up there or whatever the case. And was just like, listen. Everybody has experienced losses. When I explained to Tiff last night, it brought a tear to her eye because she understood losses. Big Lou, have you ever had a loss? And if so, tell me about it. Big Lou says, oh, yeah, we all experience losses. Dr. Francis says, see, there you go again. You're taking yourself out of the equation personally. I'm asking you personally if you've gone through a loss. Tell me about it. Why you gotta do that, Big Lou? So Big Lou finally opens up and says, yeah, he experienced the loss. He wasn't as close to his dad as he wanted to be. And that felt like a major loss for him. He even shed a tear. Go ahead on, Big Lou. Like Dr. Francis said, you get it? That was nice of you to share with not only your wife, but the people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to be vulnerable to share with the people. It's not a bad thing. I get it with the way social media is and the age of today is. Nobody wants to look like a biatch, but having certain traits, just like you can be happy, being sad is a same emotion that it's okay to have. I don't understand why people feel like being sad is such a horrible thing or having people see them sad. I get it. Some people will take that and pounce on you. However, it's okay to be vulnerable in certain situations. This is the first time we've seen Big Lou actually be vulnerable. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Now, Dr. Francis was like, look, we all experience losses. Hell, Tisha, didn't you just experience a loss? And Tisha talks about her friend from college that she lost and says that basically that girl had just had a baby, 3-month-old baby, and she had a toddler as well. And she went in her baby room and collapsed in her baby room. I could not imagine. And immediately I thought to myself, it could have been something to do with her pregnancy. You know what I mean? Or her delivery or something like that. It could have been. Who knows? Maurice jumps in and says her husband loved her to death. Like, they did a flashback because Maurice said he cried at my wedding. And that dude was saying he found the soulmate and the love of his life. And just like that, listen, life is fragile and precious. And Dr. Francis brought this up. Life is very fragile and very precious. When I say fragile, meaning you never know. And my heart and prayers go out to Tisha's friends, family, and her kids most definitely to lose their mother. Her baby will never know who her mother is. She'll hear stories and see pictures, but she'll never know her mother. I experienced that. My sister passed. She was killed actually when she was 8 months pregnant. My nephew now is 19. He don't know his mama. All he knows is the pictures and the stories. She literally gave birth and passed after being shot. So I understand that. And I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. You know what I mean? And I'm not like weighing hurts because it's one, in my opinion, I feel like it's one thing to have an absent parent that you can somehow touch. at some point, even if you don't get to touch him. There's a possibility to touch him versus not even having the opportunity. I could not imagine. So prayers to Tisha's friends, family. They didn't say her name, but prayers to her family. Definitely her husband and her kids. You know what I'm saying? But life is very fragile. We have to be cognizant of that. Let's move on. Mama Hope goes to Martell and tell Martell about her meeting with Mel. You know, first of all, Martell said he had to increase his products because the wine is flying off the shelf. Shout out Martell. Them children gotta eat. Shout him out because them children gotta eat at the end of the day. And then number two, you gonna increase your products. Can you talk to Sheree and show her how to do that? Because apparently Sheree and She by Sheree ain't got that memo. They don't know how to do that. Can you train Sheree? I know y'all smashing and whatnot, but when y'all having pillow talk after you done jumped out the puss, can you talk to her about increasing products or even having them? Anyway, so Mama Hope tell Martell that she done went down there and talked to Mel, and she, you know, she wasn't happy about the text, but at the end of the day, they have children, grandchildren to raise, you know, at the end of the day. And that's her. She said her and Mel ain't never had no problem before. They used to talk all the time. She been calling her Mama Hope before they got married, and that's still gonna be somebody that's family. It is what it is. I'm here for it, Mama Hope. I think her name is Marlene. Martell is happy that Mel is moving in the right direction as far as trying to make the family cohesive again. Because guess what? Even if you never get back with that dude, you got to have a cohesive family. You got to. That's just the way it is. Let's move on. Big Lou is in the room and asked Tip how she felt things went earlier. Tip basically was like, I'm happy that you were able to open up. Like, that was a side of you most people don't get to see. And she said, I feel like you do that because you're a big dude and you don't want to feel vulnerable or look weak. Yeah, you know how little men have the little man syndrome? Big men have the big man syndrome too. I see that out of Lou. But Lou opens up and basically talks about how his father wasn't there, but it's not because, you know, he was just out screwing off. He was actually providing for the family, and he didn't have time. Big Lou said that when his daddy, when he graduated high school, he had a conversation with his daddy and told his daddy how that made him feel. He said his daddy ain't missed another game of his through high school and college. Sometimes communication is all you need. And I get it as a child, it's hard to communicate that to a parent. It's very hard. It's extremely hard. But shout out to Big Lou for having that conversation with his dad. But it doesn't change the fact that he missed out on a lot of time with his father. And that's probably why he has the exterior that he has. Moving on, Dr. Francis go talk to Tisha and Muscle. And he feels like Tisha ready to move on and grow. But Muscle, that's a different cookie to crack. You get it? So he goes over there talking to them. And Dr. Francis was like, you know, today, you know, it was all right. It was a little light. It wasn't nothing heavy. Marceau was like, light? Shit, you had Big Lou and Tip crying. Is you crazy? That wasn't light. If this is light, I hate to see heavy. Look light, but I'm real heavy, though. That's Dr. Francis. So now Dr. Francis starts talking to them. And Marceau said they haven't been sure of their marriage for the last few years. And it's basically because of outside sources. Everybody got an opinion about their marriage. They played the flashback of Miss Wanda's opinion. Mel and Martell's opinion. Everybody, I think the only people who ain't saying nothing about their marriage is Maurice and Kimmy. Everybody has something to say about their marriage, but it's probably because Maurice should be cheating. I don't know if you cheat actively, but you have. If you haven't cheated, you do some suspectual stuff. I don't even know if suspectual is a word that make the girl want to question it, right? Or make the world want to question it. And then you don't explain nothing. Anybody would think you were cheating. I'm confused as to why people wouldn't think. Why you don't understand why people think you be cheating? You don't even explain it to your wife. Unless you do it off camera, I don't know. But anyway, Tisha's whole thing is we have a traditional marriage. And you know, when God gave me this husband, I was supposed to mind him. She didn't say mind, but she said, you know, she's a traditional girl. You know, if a man say, you know, the sky blue, she ain't gonna ask no questions. It's blue. She's gonna listen to her husband and be obedient / submissive. Ooh, those are cringe words in 2022, but I understand, girl. Whatever works in your dynamic works in your dynamic. However, for you to just listen to every single thing he say and not have a question about it, you a damn fool. Even Dr. Francis kind of caught on to that. And Marceau tried to jump in and was like, oh, no, but I run everything by her, though. It ain't like I just make all the decisions. I run the stuff by her. Dr. Francis ain't buying it. He not buying it. Because like Dr. Francis said, what's understood don't need to be explained. You wouldn't have to fight for the truth because the truth would already be established. You get it? this is my synopsis or opinion of the Marceau and Tisha marriage. Tisha ain't leaving her husband, number one. Number two, she have doubts about Marceau, but she feels guilty about questioning him because he's even got her thinking that she's wrong for questioning anything. Marceau running around the streets of Huntsville passing out peanuts like doggone Halloween candy. And, you know, Tisha was like, we got too much money and stuff invested and it is what it is. Ain't leaving my husband. Now, when it come down to the bread, I'm here for it. But see, I just need the opportunity to cheat back. While you creeping, we both creeping. Moving to the last scene, Dr. Francis go see Kimmy and Maurice. They outside having a little nightcap dinner or whatever. And Maurice's whole thing is he was apprehensive about coming at first, but he wanted to make a deal with his wife that they should sleep together and have sex twice a day while they out here. That's the only way he gonna come. Maurice is a sex machine, and he wants his wife to bust it open all the time, at least twice a day. Dr. Francis was like, well, you know, at the end of the day, she's a human and a woman, and she has autonomy over her own body. You know that, right? And he's like, oh, yeah. And Kimmy was like, well, I don't think he thinks I don't have the right to my own body or nothing. I just feel like, you know, Maurice is just a freak, and he just be wanting to lay up and have sex all the time. But look, I got things to do. I live in a house full of boys. And especially with the mindset of Maurice saying, this is not man's work, Maurice is... Oh, he them old Southern men. Maurice. What is man's work? So you mean to tell me he can't wash the dishes or cook or wash clothes because that's not man's work, that's woman's work? Girl, why are y'all living in 1860? I know Martell dressed like he lived in 1860, but are y'all in the house in 1860? So you mean to tell me, because see, Kimmy says this later, that she can't lay up and have sex all day because after that she got stuff to do. She got to get up, wash clothes, clean, and he lays there. So you mean to tell me you a successful woman, you don't need him for his money, granted he got it, but you don't need it. And you allow him to lay up and do nothing while you do all the work for you and all the boys in the house because it's not men's work? Kimmy, y'all telling more and more about your marriage that I don't know if y'all realize that y'all telling more and more about your marriage that you think people don't understand. Girl, you are living in a goddamn slave house. And for that, Maurice, she don't know. She don't know. You gonna help around the house, or is you gonna... If you don't help around the house, you ain't getting no new. Period. See, that's what you gotta do. Hold it hostage, girl. Hold the coochie hostage. Since he wants to have sex twice a day, don't give him none. Have him help around the house and do women's work. He talking that this ain't man's work. He'll adjust, or he'll cheat. One of the two. But yeah, Dr. Francis was like, you know, at the end of the day, sex is something that you guys share together because you love each other, and it's a shared experience. It's not because that's my wife and she's an object, she should be able to just bust it open. Maurice is a sex addict and a sexist pig. Oh, Lord, Maurice, we thought you was nice. We thought you was the better brother out of you and Maurice. But we finding out week by week, you just as toxic and dirty as your brother. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl. The Whacky Whitlows and the crazy Scots. The silly Scots. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on TikTok, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye. Wrong thing. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo dog time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.